Going on, y'all? Today we're gonna be going ahead and putting the ILX on lowering springs. The springs that we're gonna be using today are actually the D2 racing springs, come in purple and other colors, I'm sure. Here's what it looks like stock. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that real quick. So that's stock. 2020 ILX, by the way. And then this is what it looks like drop. We already did this side, so it's a clean little 2-inch drop. Looks real good. I'm gonna get into what we need for this project. Okay, here's what we're gonna need for today's video, y'all. We're gonna need a few different sockets in different sizes. 19, 22, we're gonna need a 14, and there's a special socket. This one right here, because these cars actually have a key on them. Where can you find these at?
It's in the glove compartment.
In the glove compartment, you'll be able to throw that on there.
It's inside this little black bag.
That's what we're gonna be doing, is jacking up the car. What you're gonna wanna do is try and find, there should be a metal bar underneath this right here. Feel it, you can tell it's metal. And then go ahead and line that up. Nice. And then slowly just start jacking up. Okay, after you get the car nice and jacked up, you're gonna want to throw the jack stands underneath like that. Line it up. Make sure it's in a good spot. Nice and sturdy. So go ahead and use a 19 all around, then just use that key for that one socket. So now that we got the rim off, we're gonna need to take this piece off up here, and there's two different ways to go about this. You can either put an Allen key on there with a 14 wrench around it and then twist, but we have a different way of going about it. So we'll go ahead and show you that in a second. Boom, just like that.
Now we're gonna have to bump up the jack a little bit to create the clearance for the sway bar link. Keep going.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, you can just move this to the side and we'll continue to work.
Alrighty guys, next up we're gonna be using the 12mm socket to try and get this 12mm bolt to move the brake line out. And once you break it, it should just come right out. So next up guys, we're gonna have a quick little method for you guys. We got the needle nose pliers right there.
And we're gonna go ahead and clip these little pins. And as you clip it, you just wiggle it out all in one, and it'll just pop right out.
Just like that.
You're gonna do that for the following. This one, and there's one all the way in the back.
Next up, we're gonna be using a 19 deep socket as well as a 22 socket. And that's gonna be to get these two big bolts out right here. We got a 19 on the left side and a 22 on the right.
And 2 more under it.
And then there are 2 more under it right there. And you can't really see it right now, but everyone's right there. Go ahead and grab the breaker bar off of the jack. After you get them all unscrewed and whatnot, the bolt should come right out. Just pull it right out. I'm not trying to be too tedious, so I'm not gonna go over this part much, but it's exactly the same as the first part. So do the same thing you did on the first one. Once you get that last bolt out on the bottom, you're just gonna go ahead and drop the jack that you had underneath of there. And this part should just fall right out.
Give it a little wiggle.
Give it a little wiggle.
There you go.
And then if you gotta tuck the brake lines.
Want to make sure you don't put too much tension on the brake lines, get them out of your way.
Exactly.
Me personally, I just slide them back here. Now we don't have to worry about them until later.
So what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and just pop the hood and get up in here. Take these off with a flathead screwdriver. Just get under there and pop up, real simple. Just like that. Now you got all the bolts exposed.
Don't forget your Hardy Boy gloves.
With the Hardy Boy gloves. Come on
Hardy
now.
boys.
Next you're gonna need a 14. 14.
There you go.
Get up in there and but at the same time you're gonna want someone underneath of here to catch this when it falls, because once those
Somebody like yourself.
somebody like yourself.
So if you got long arms like me myself, you know, or even average arms, you can go ahead and
As soon as you get those bolts out, it's just gonna fall just like that.
And boom, we got your strap.
Comparison of the two different springs. The new spring compared to the old spring. You can see this one is a little bit fatter, a little bit shorter as well compared to the old one. It's gonna look clean though. It's gonna look real clean. Go ahead and bring that 19 back out. We're gonna be using that to drill these pieces in, which is going to tighten up the spring and compress it down.
Another thing, when you're compressing this spring, make sure that they never touch.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna want to do is just work a little bit on this side, switch over, work a little bit on this side. Until it looks like this. That's about where you want your spring to be compressed to. So like that's good enough. You're gonna want to switch over to the 17, where we're gonna be using that on the top to take out this little bolt right up top.
Make sure you standing clear.
Stand very clear.
I'm gonna keep going until this bolt comes on.
Chad, no tension. It should come off just like this.
Grab your bump stop, take your bolt, put it in another area. Then you want to go ahead and gently work this out. Your spring should be compressed, so you really shouldn't have to worry about it, but just stay safe.
You should be safe once the spring is compressed, but as always, stay safe.
Work with it as if it's loaded. Because it is
take that
loaded.
piece off.
Get it out of the way.
One more thing to note. This piece right here at the bottom is going to be attached to these. So you're kind of going to have to lift it up a little bit and pull around these little edges right here. Okay. Get this uncompressed as soon as possible. So you're going to want to go ahead and get the spring on there, get it wrapped around that top part, and then make sure you get the piece off of the stock spring and wrap it around the bottom. Make sure that the triangle lines up. There's a little triangle indent. You'll see it once you take it off, but there's a triangle indent you have to line up at the bottom.
This part is optional, but if you want to cut off a little piece of your bump stop, I did about 1 inch. You know, if you don't want to, you don't have to. It'll help if you want it a little lower. It's not going to affect it in any negatively, but yeah.
We get the spring compressed again. We're gonna go ahead and put this top piece back on and screw it back in with a 17. Now that you got the top bolt all the way tightened, we're gonna go ahead and uncompress these springs. Should be safe to now. Next, what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and line the screws up with the top holes. Should come out looking something like this. Go ahead and just screw the screws back in.
Go ahead.
Now you just want to jack it up until you can slide this bolt in.
Go ahead, a little bit. Down just a little bit.
There you go. And you want to push it back and pull the...
We got both the things in the front. Everything
forward. Yeah. Okay. Pull it forward just a little bit more. And it should slide right in.
Same method with the vice grips and the 14 to put it back on.
We're actually going to the original first method just to get a little bit of that sway out of there. You can't see it on camera, but it's not as tight as it can be. So we're gonna use the first method just to make sure it's fully in there. Last step of this process, we're just gonna be reinstalling the brake line bolt. And what do we use for that?
12mm.
A 12mm to get that back in, and once you're done, you can throw the rim back on, and we are done. It's looking good. Okay, what's going on, y'all? We are back. We are on the rear side this time. We ran some issues, but we did take care of the other side. We didn't want to give you guys any bad information, so we went ahead and did it on our own, and now we're gonna go ahead and show you how to do it. What you're gonna need for this project is mainly a size 14 socket. I think that's about it right now. And the impact. I will keep you guys updated and let you know if there is anything else you need along the way, but that should be about it. All right, so first things first, you're gonna take a 14. Hopefully I can give you guys a good angle of where the bolt is actually at. It's just a little to the left of the spring. We're on the left side of the car right now. Now, after you've gotten the screw loosened, what you're gonna wanna do is take a jack and go right underneath the knuckle and just go up. and that'll take a lot of the tension off of the screw. So that way, all you have to do, once you get it to the right height, is just pull the screw on out.
From here, we're gonna go under to the sway bar housing.
Now, most people are gonna tell you that you need to just take apart the end links, which are gonna be those purple things back there. And if you're able to do that, by all means, but we ran into some issues with those and we're gonna be taking a different route. So we're going to actually be going underneath and hitting on the frame those two screws right there. They're gonna be 14s. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Oh, never mind, I guess not. Okay, yep, you can see them real good from right there. Two 14s, take those out.
We're gonna go ahead and take this and get that out by pushing the handy dandy crock.
Like that. That motherfucker out.
Go get it. That's why you want to do the top part first. Very. Get the top part. That part not gonna fit completely.
That motherfucker.
Oh, I threw it in the car.